And welcome back to part 10 of What If Naruto Went Back in Time with His Memories. Last time on Naruto What If, I got caught off early because the computer was about to die on me. But we had Jiraiya and Naruto in search of Tsunade, finding her where she was. Now, obviously, the big thing here is that Orochimaru is dead. He's gone. He's not just dead. His soul is in the Shinigami's stomach, duking it out for all eternity. So he is not coming back unless a miracle happens. And that's not likely. So, where does that leave us now? Well, Naruto and Jiraiya go into the bar where Shizune and Tsunade are. They have their initial conversation, and it's going about the same. Tsunade's like, it's just a fool's there. He died a fool. And to which it's Naruto who looks at Jiraiya, and Jiraiya's like, because they talked about how it ultimately went down. It's like, Orochimaru's not here, kid. I'm not sure exactly how you're going to convince her. It's like, you want to take Leighton? So as soon as she says, it's just a fool's errand. Is that what Dan and Iwaki thought? And Tsunade just, how do you know those names? You don't know a damn thing about me. I know, and Naruto's like, I know everything about you. I know you're the granddaughter of the first Hokage. I know that you seem to think that you have the worst luck, and by all accounts you do, because you are a terrible gambler, and when you do end up winning, it's usually a bad omen. I know that's this, and he just starts going off, and eventually getting to Dan and Milwaukee, and I know that you harbor a fear of blood. And Tsunade's now looking, he's like, first off, you little shit, I'm gonna kick your ass. But also, how the hell does he know all this? Like, and then she just like, you told him all this? And Jiraiya actually is just sipping his drink. He's like, I didn't tell him a damn thing. So she doesn't believe she's drunk. You want to take this outside, old Brett? You sure you want to, old hag? And she's just big on that side. All right. You think it's okay to shit on the memories of the Hokage? Is that right? I'll tell you what. I don't. So I'm gonna kick your ass. And Tsunade's just laughing. You know what? Just because. You got some spunk, kid. I like that. So, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be nice. One finger's all I'm going to need, really. And what happens if I land a hit on you? Then I'll tell you. Then I'll acknowledge you. It's like, no. Yeah, if I land a hit, no. You know what? Tell you what. If I beat you in a fight, you come back and be okay. Which even just Jiraiya now is like, are you effing kidding? Like, look, you're strong, kid. Like, you could give me a good fight, but you might even be able to beat Kakashi. Maybe. And that's a big maybe, by the way. Even with everything he's got, it'd be difficult. Like, theoretically, Naruto's got more experience than Kakashi. Actually, no, technically speaking, when you actually break that down, Kakashi was already a Chunin at age 6. He was about 29 when the 4th Great Shinobi War happened. I mean, he had 23 years of experience under his belt. So Kakashi has more experience than Naruto. Even right now, actually, he has almost as much experience. Now, people keeps using the shadow clone excuse about experience. It's not quite the same type of experience. Yes, he's been through a lot of battles, and the clones all kind of have accumulated that. But the fact of the matter actually is, just one-on-one fights isn't the same as literally living through war throughout a giant chunk of your life, instead of living throughout war for a couple months to days of your weeks to days to weeks to months of your life. It's not. What I'm trying to get is there is a difference between the experience you just gain on the field that Naruto can gain with the clones, and there's a difference between that and the experience you gain when you're actually living your life through something. Kakashi lived through 2 wars, 3 by the time Shippuden came around. So I actually still give the experience edge to Kakashi, and it hands down go Jiraiya and Tsunade on that level. But point being is like, you beat me? Yeah, it's like, how about if I beat you? Don't beat me. You think you're going to beat me. Tell you what, you beat me, I'll come back and be Hokage. How about that? It's like, fine. And and Naruto is getting ready to go on stage, but I'll even tell you this: I won't even call it a loss if you decide to use more than one hand. It's like, more than one hand, kid? I'm not going to need more than one finger. And all of a sudden, she looks and sees him close his eyes, and all of a sudden, It's like, all right then. When he rushes, like, wait, what the hell is that? And he just comes in. She dodges because she's still got the reflexes, more than capable of dodging. But to her shock, and what she realized, she feels kind of like what the Pretapath felt, the bending of her face because of the nature chakra. Fortunately, she's way tougher than the Pretapath is. So she just flips. That can't be you. That's Sage Mode. That's Toad Sage Mode. How the hell, Jiraiya, again, don't look at me. It's like, what do you mean don't look at me? It's your Sage Mode. I was like, you might want to focus on something else here. And just great breakthrough. And then she just cracks the ground, then starts tossing up rocks. Great breakthrough. Boom. Or Pale Lightning. By the way, someone keeps asking about using the Super Shocker from Tentamon for a lightning-based technique. Okay, so you're going to have to explain to me in the context of a Naruto world how that's different from a basic false lightning attack. Because the false lightning is essentially, it's a powerful technique Kakuzu used, but it's still basically a lightning bolt. So how is the Super Shocker, which is a Tentamon using its wings to generate a blast of electricity, A, how is that different from a lightning bolt in the context of a Naruto world? And B, how would that work? I'm not saying you couldn't use it, just like I used the Byakurai technique. But I'm asking, how is that different? And Naruto then uses some lightning jutsu to get through the rock, and Naruto finally comes in, has the Rasengan and got you! Finally, like, fine. It's like, you said I could use both hands, and she just lifts her up rock, nearly smashes Naruto into pieces. He just, whoa! His hand gets crushed. Luckily, he's still in Sage Mode. He's like looking around, like, we're in a crowded street. I can't use too many of my powerful techniques. He's certainly not going to use Rasen Shuriken on her. So yeah, he's sure as shit not going to do. In fact, he's probably not going to do any version of that really, except for one that he could use, because all of them are way too offensive and would cause way too much destruction. But Naruto thinks that, then he realizes there's one I can use, and he just creates the clone that he needs. Because right now he can't. I'm not sure if I said he could do. He could probably do the Wind Rasengan and any of the elements with just his two hands, but he can't do like the heavier versions without a clone. Maybe I said otherwise, but I'm going this. He creates a clone. What the hell is that? That's the Rasengan. What the hell do you think you're doing, Brett? Jiraiya, and she keeps looking at Jiraiya, and he keeps going, don't look at me. Look at him. And he's adding his Earth Chakra now that he has into the Rasengan. It starts forming. It's like, and all of a sudden, she's seeing all this rock something just be created. Rock made of pure chakra, or created from chakra, Earth Chakra. So he sees it, and it's just growing. And now it's basically kind of like this weird cratered orb, like a hollow Earth kind of thing. And he just comes in and she's like, Earth style. I haven't thought of a name for this yet, but Stone Chasm Rasengan or something like that. And just now, unfortunately, the Sage Mode should theoretically allow him to launch it, but I don't know if that was a combination of the Sage Mode and the fact that it was Wing Chakra or just the Sage Mode. My impression is it actually is probably just mostly the Sage Mode. This is because Naruto can also throw Tail Beast bombs that are other nature transformations as well, albeit with the Wind Rasengan blades in there. Anywho, so he throws it, and she just grabs it, and this is how I kind of like in the Earth version of this technique. It's kind of similar to like the coral technique that Yagura, the Mizukage uses, where it kind of grows on you. It's kind of like a sealing technique. He's like, what is this? My Earth style, and his Sage Mode starts to fade because he's huffing. My Sage style Rasengan, my Earth style Rasengan isn't really for offense. It's for keeping people in place. And so I thought that might be a good way to keep you in check while I get ready to put you down. And Tsunade finds like, you little, cracks it open. And finally, at this point, Jiraiya gets in the way. He's like, that's enough. Let's call it a draw. What? Come on! I almost had her. He's like, you almost had me. He's like, yeah, you really. Kid, the only way you're going to be able to even come close to beating her is by going all out, and we know this is not the place for it. And Naruto's looking around. He's lucky he hasn't destroyed anything. He's like, And look, even if you did somehow win, you want to really be known as the person who just beat on a 13-year-old kid just for pissing you off. And so they go their separate way. Ultimately, she still basically says, why would you ever teach that to a kid who could never master it? Still being somewhat drunk and in denial about what she just saw. It's like, are you sure he can't? I'm sorry, you really think he didn't master it? He's got it on a level way before any of us right now. Which, by the way, that'd probably be another thing Naruto would impart to Jiraiya, especially during 3 years, combining the elements into the Rasengan. Because, by all accounts, if Boruto can do it, then Naruto should be able to do it. Anyone who knows the Rasengan and knows the technique to do it should be able to do it. Theoretically. Again, Kakashi mentioned this method of training only works for Naruto, but it's the training I thought he mentioned, like the clone training. At least at the level it helped improve Naruto. Don't know why he never thought to start combining elements the way Naruto did, but whatever. Chakra, maybe that's it. Who knows? So Tsunade leaves, and basically what happens is Naruto and her make a bet. I bet you I can have a Rasengan of every element down by the end of the week. Please. And so, we know where Naruto already has it. So what Naruto's ultimately doing is using drunk Tsunade's logic and her bad luck against her. And basically conning her into coming. And so the week passes, and sure enough, Naruto shows up every single Rasengan, and she's just like, I was like, well, you was like, damn it all, and why? And they get ready to leave, because she honors her word, and she's grumpy about it. She doesn't like the fact of going back to the village, but she's honoring her word. And she finally decides to talk to Naruto a bit. It's like, what makes you so particular about this? Why? Because you ultimately, you are a good person who was hurting, and you need to heal. So things along the... Basically, he says something about, down and Milwaukee, and she gets angry, and then he just shoots back. He's like, and you really, and how they act right now? You picking fights with random strangers? You getting drunk? You getting drunk? You wasting your time? You belittle a home they grew up in? What would they think of you right now? And she probably, all pissed, she does not have an answer. In fact, if anything, she's not drunk at the moment, but that's a little bit of a sobering comment probably from Naruto. And maybe her answer is, it doesn't matter. They're dead. It doesn't matter. They're dead. They're not coming back. No, they're not coming back. So what are you going to do then? Just wallow in your self-pity? Or are you going to try to live the life they wanted you to have on any level? And, she's thinking about that. And it's like, to be Okage. And believe me, you're pretty good. You'll be a pretty good Okage. Trust me, I know. And I was like, how do you know? How did you know? How do you learn all that? And finally, it's like, Jiraiya's like, are we going to tell her? Let's let her get comfortable in the role of Hokage first. Tell me what? It's like, you'll learn. You'll see. And so she gets there, and for some reason, she's not as pissed off now. She's more intrigued by Naruto and what he's keeping for, how he knows all he knows. Naruto gets back, and the first thing she goes, looks at Lee. Obviously, the surgery is what it is, and Lee's like, this is my dream, and she remembers Naruto saying, the Hokage is my dream. And again, she's now reminded of her brother and her lover, and she's just kind of, now she's actually starting to accept and understand this a bit more. She accepts her Hokage, and is here where we basically get the setup for the time skip and the time skip itself. Naruto, he's thinking about what he has to do for his training, about leaving. Everyone's seeing him off. He notices, because they've been gone for a little while now, he notices that with Sasuke and Sakura seeing him off, that they're kind of holding hands just a little bit. And he kind of smirks like, well, isn't that nice? And he bids farewell to everyone. So with the training between the 3 years, this is very different. Naruto is now going through his paces, trying to reclaim everything he lost through the time travel. Sage mode, he's got it down. He's just going through all the elements that he can, learning as many as he can. He helps Jiraiya. Jiraiya ends up perfecting his Sage mode. He also learns the element of the Rasengans. But the big part for Naruto doesn't come until, I don't remember when the Chunin exam was, or after when Fu got kidnapped. But one of the things Naruto wanted to try to do is find at least one of the Jinchuriki that was taken before he got back and save them. And in this case, I think it's Fu, because that is the Jinchuriki among them that, first off, was young. Genin, he could have had interactions with if he met her, and it's the one I believe Kakuzu ended up catching, if I remember correctly. If I remember it all, the ones they were tasked with, Kisame was tasked with the three tails, though he also got Roshi. Itachi got the nine tails, but then Pain had the nine tails. Deidara had the one tails. I think we know Pain ended up getting six tails. Oh god, Sasuke was actually tasked with getting B, and then Kisame was. And Hidan was tasked with the two tails. Well, it's never stated who got Han, Roshi. Well, no, we know who got Roshi. Who got Han and who got Fu. I think because it's the land of the waterfalls, and that's where Kakuzu is from. I think it was implied that Kakuzu was the one who got her. So let's assume that. Let's assume that after searching for so long, he finds Fu, and she's being attacked by none other than the zombie brothers. She's on death's door. It's like, no, you'll be coming with us. And just as he's about to, grab her and take her and knock her out, he just gets he gets his arm cut off. It's like, why is that? Sorry, can't let you take her. And he's there. He's standing, and he's probably got his something akin to what Minato wore, but I liken the idea that he probably has a sage cloak right now. Again, wish he kept it. What are you gonna do? So he's got in his sage clothes, and who are you? It's like, sorry, oh, that's right, you haven't met me yet, but I remember you, Kakuzu of the land of waterfall, and none of the land of hot springs. Like, you know this guy, Kakuzu? I'm not familiar, but his description seems I do not know him, but his description seems familiar to me. Oh, that's right, Naruto Uzumaki, Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Why am I holding goggles? Like he's wearing goggles. Nine Tails Jinchuriki. He's always holding his headband. It's like, Hidan and Kakuzu are both showing. Like, not that we're complaining. What we were tasked with capturing you last. Oh, that's right. The Geto statue the fox gotta be sealed last, because if not, the Geto statue will break, right? And they're both like, how that? I always like the idea of Naruto just spouting information he knows, and everyone just has how the hell does he know that? Meanwhile, Jiraiya is watching this entire time from the sidelines, and he'll get involved if he needs to, because at this point he's also way stronger than he was before, and probably could have easily taken either Hidan or Kakuzu, given the chance. It's like, so you've come to offer us willingly? Do you willingly? No, I came to save her, and you're not touching her. And Fuji's like, who are you? It's like, sorry, don't worry, we're gonna save both of you, no matter what. And even I think it's Chome is the name of the Seven Tails, and Chome's like, wow, what? I don't know who is it. Hey, Chome, who is this? It's like, this is that's the Nine Tails. That's Kurama's Jinchuriki. But why is he? I don't know why he's helping us. But tell him I say thank you. She says thank you. It's like, no problem. And then Kakuzu was able to finally reattach the arm, noticing that there is severe nerve damage. I see that. Yeah, I can tell you're powerful. Wind style? No, there's something else about you. Naruto gets his stage mode activated. Yeah, I get that a lot. Come on. All we gotta do is knock his ass out, right? Maybe if I... And now, he probably knows of Hidan, but he had never faced Hidan. So, he's like, oh, you're the one Shikamaru fought. I'm gonna have to be careful here. And he comes in with his blades, like, wow, it really is slow, isn't he? And just goes like, Gyalpa, and just blasts him back. Something just hits a kunai into him, just skewering him to the ground. Oh, damn it! And Kakuzu and him now get into a long, heated battle. Kakuzu throwing at every element he can, but Naruto's doing the same, multiple clones. Eventually, he makes his Rasen Shuriken and wastes his ass like he does in the original. Honestly, here Naruto would waste both their asses. He ultimately incinerates Hidan with a Rasen Nova, the wind and fire combination, which ultimately leads now to the last part of this, where he saves Chome and says, why did you save us? Well, because those guys are trying to hurt you, and they're trying to take your friend. Like, friend? I mean, we're not really that close. It's like, really, you should try. They're not that bad. And Kurama, by the way, has probably been in regular conversation with Naruto. He doesn't love Naruto yet, but he never loved Naruto. He grew to respect and like him and treat him like a friend, but he never loved Naruto. But he's now seeing this interaction. There was a point in the last video I actually forgot to bring up because I think it would have been a nice moment. That when Naruto is mourning the third, the fox, I think, actually would have been surprisingly respectful of it. And Naruto even relates, like, you know what it's like to lose a father figure, don't you? I keep forgetting. And the fox doesn't lash at him when he says that or asks him. The fox just looks at him and just, yeah. And it's like, sorry for your loss. It's like, sorry for yours still. And so they've actually grown a decent relation. They're still not quite where they are by the end of Shippuden, but a working relationship. Naruto also has access to the 3 tails and Kimiko and the 4 tails, although it's still taxing on his body. Though he can kind of still keep his mental faculties, surprisingly, because the fox isn't actively trying to get out, and now he's hoping Naruto keeps his word. And, you know, he gives Fu a lift up to help her recover. And now it's not, I'm going to look up Fu real quick because it's implied the waterfall ninja left her for dead. And just let the Akatsuki kind of get her. At least that's how I've kind of, let's try that again. Okay. Sorry, I'm feeling a little at the moment. I think the heat is messing with my stomach just a little bit. That or it could be the grinder A. Point being is that it's taking its time to load up for some reason. Okay. There we go. I don't know. Oh, Fu. All right, Fu. What actually happened to her? I mean, what happened to her? We know she. Okay, we know she. Kimazuma. Yep, met sometime. Yep, it was Hidan and Kakuzu went to get her. Excited to befriend a fellow Taka. Despite knowing that Rogue Shinoi's hair, however, the Rogue Kakuzu stated the Zmos aren't to become friends with her. Okay, so that's exactly what it was. So being confronted by Kakuzu and Hida. So that's what happened. She wanted to befriend Kakuzu because he was a fellow Taka ninja, but that didn't work out. And maybe that's what happened here. And we can say that's what happened here. And so ultimately, they befriend Fu and ask, you know, look, there's something bad is coming, and they're coming for all of us. And we got to protect not just ourselves, but the guys we have here. They're not just beasts of chakra. They're individuals who think and learn, and you can have a partnership. You can work with them, and you can have something greater. I'm still working with mine, but you know what? We've gotten to a good place, haven't we, Kurama? Kurama grumbles, and so you know she thanks him, but she doesn't know what to actually do now. Because honestly, let's see her background. Do they say how she? Kept by Akatsuki. It doesn't really say how she was treated. Now, I've had some people say, by the way, apparently the theory that Naruto was able to try to graduate 3 extra times is not confirmed at all. But that's just a fan theory. Just like, let's see, in the anime, growing up in the village, Jinjuri, the village, the leader Shibuki took care and protected her. He also taught her the importance of friendship and loyalty. So my guess is while the leader protected her, maybe the other villagers didn't treat her very well. So because of this, I mean, it might be very possible that they just go to the village and say, look, we're going to offer her amnesty in the belief. It's like, you can't do that. She's our Jinchuriki. I'm sorry, Fu, could you tell me again what your experiences here have been like? And she goes into like some of the less than stellar treatment she's been getting. I know she's important to you, and I know you feel that having the Jinchuriki is a great weapon, but if you're going to treat your Jinchuriki like this and not actually train her to coexist with her tail beast and become the weapon you want, then A, you're going to fail in any war you get in, and B, you don't deserve to have her. Now, I can send a note to the Hokage and we can make this official, or I can blitz through the entirety of your village and we can make this official. I would prefer the former. So, now Naruto might not use those exact words, but he is not joking. He probably even channels some Kurama in him. And Jiraiya is there to back him up, too. It was like, because they were talking, it was like, yeah, we're going to try to get Fu into the village. And so that's exactly what happened. So she spends the rest of her time training with Naruto and Jiraiya. Now, unfortunately, we do not have a good, grasp of what her actual abilities are. She had high battle prowess. She had some ninjutsu, which would include shining bright lights that blind her targets, creating a opening for her attack. She could summon wings thanks to the Jinchuriki, her tail beast. She can create webs that heal allies without any contact or movement, and can use webs to produce a net-like shaped prison to ensnare targets. She can also produce a cocoon that slowly absorbs or halts chakra absorption techniques. She can use the transmission technique, which allows her to communicate with her allies silently and at long range. With the technique making a hollow wind-like sound. So we don't know what her chakra nature is. We know that we can have her train it. My guess is, if I were to just guess, based on the insect-based nature of it, her wings, some stuff that it describes it being wind-like, she at least has a wind-type nature. She probably has a water-type nature based on the fact she's from the waterfall. And I wouldn't be surprised if she also has an earth-type nature, given the fact that most insects are earth-based creatures, are very earthy. So, yeah, she spends now the remaining of time, which wouldn't be long. Let's hypothetically say, I don't know, a year, training with him, getting as close as you can to Naruto's level. But the big thing for Naruto comes around that year, a little after training with Fu. He goes to Jiraiya and asks, it's time. I owe him this. If I'm to build the true relationship I have with Kurama and build again, and he trusts me, the way I've shown him, I give him all. I have put my faith in him, and he put my faith in me. He has stood by my side. It's time for me to do the same thing. I ask you, please, to give me the key to my cell, or the key to my seal. And Jiraiya is like, and worst. Look, if you think he's gonna run rampant, if you think he's gonna, try to kill everyone, then just keep the seal on standby, and you can seal it up. But believe me, I trust him. And again, Kurama's hearing all of this. Like, Naruto's trusting him. He is. And he finally does it, and Naruto just goes up to him, just, boom, unlocks it. And the fox does roar. He immediately roars, and everybody, like, he's free. He's finally free. He could leave if he wants. He really could. And it's like, before you go, I mean, if you're going to go, then just give me one more. And the fox just looks at him, and he just does it. And now, I mean, and here's the thing. The original time, the memories weren't really shared. He probably saw glimpses, but it wasn't like the true memory sharing. Now it's like full of like everything I know, and Kurama sees it. He sees everything. He sees everything he was born, went through, the Naruto went through, them fighting, clashing, ultimately working together, ultimately becoming friends, and him giving his life to save Naruto. And he's actually a little moved, and what he remembers the way he felt when Naruto gained the trust of all the tail beasts. He remembers all of this, and he actually has a tear in his eyes, and then just kind of, and he just looks at him. He gets straight in his face and just kind of growls for a bit before he just, what is it about you, you little shit? And he's like, I don't know. Who knows? All I know is we're better together than apart. And I don't want to do this without you. And the fox is like, son of a, you win, brat. It's like, and he stays in there. Naruto, I think, though, because it is his mind, I've never understood why Naruto maybe couldn't do this. Alters the mindscape a bit to meet Kanaze's. There's no more water or anything like that. A little brighter, a little warmer. It's like, yeah, it's not bad, brat. And so Naruto accesses not just his KCM1 cloak, but his true tail beast Kurama form. And that's one of the things they practice. And honestly, I think Naruto practicing with Chome and Fu and all that, I think helps them get in there, if not close to there. Now, that's a good question. Do we think that the other tail beasts had a similar cloak to Kurama? I don't think so, because we see Killer Bee go into his full tail beast form, and it looks nothing like that. So probably not. Although, who knows? There might be an alternate version of it. either way, they very well might all have their own burying mode though. I watch, one of the guys I like to watch is NC, I think it's NC Hammer. He's a Naruto YouTuber, and he's got also the Weed Commander, where he talks about anime, but he's predominantly a Naruto YouTuber. And I like him. And we want to talk about deep diver. He deep dives on a lot of this stuff. So, you want someone who really knows their shit and what they're talking about. Go to, NC Hammer 23. Go to NC Hammer 23. He does say, though, that the Gyuki, the five-tailed horse dolphin, whatever, could theoretically do a version of burying mode because of how his chakra worked. I don't think it quite works that way, but I'm not saying it doesn't. I just don't know if there's actually any evidence to kind of prove that. I mean, it's more speculative than practice because there's just not enough evidence in the source materials. But I digress. So they get back. Now, does Fu develop a little crush on Naruto? Maybe just a bit, but it's more like a savior crush. She'll get over it. She'll find her own hubby or girl. Who knows? When I do a certain what if, I will probably ask one specific question. Because when you do a gender swap, spoiler, someone asked about it, it begs the questions. Like, now we live in a day and age where you don't have to be straight. You could be bi, you could be lesbian, you could be trans, you can be whatever. So it kind of does beg a little bit of that trans is gender identity, not sexuality. But it does beg a question, like, could I make a gender swap character a certain sexuality? I could, but only if it's okay with everyone else. So whenever I get around to, like, say, the Naruto was a girl what ifs, I'll ask that question. I'll legitimately ask the question because it will actually affect how I do the story. Furthermore, it's going to affect how I do the pairing too, because I guess I would have to theoretically make one of the if Naruto as she would be was bi or gay. I guess I would have to make a canon character bi or gay too, and theoretically, if I were to do a matchup for that, in theory. If I paired the bi Naruto with a woman, but we're way past before. We're way away from that. Anyway, they get back to the village. They visit Tsunade. Tsunade is happy to have Fu in the village. Everyone's happy. Naruto goes strolling. He ultimately finds Sasuke and Sakura. They're coming back. They're just strolling. They all see each other. Sakura gives him a hug. Sasuke gives him a fist bump. And he just goes, "So, you two dating now or what?" And she's like, "How the?" And Sakura's just like, "Okay," and she's blushing, and Sasuke's even like, "How the hell did he?" It's like Naruto knows they ultimately wound up together, but because he can play, I was like, "I saw you holding hands a little bit when I left. I can put the pieces together." I was like, well, if he must, and Sasuke, Sasuke. This is where Sasuke really makes Sakura squeal a little bit. It's like, she's like, "Yeah, we're dating, whatever," and she's like, in her head, but at the same time, she's matured enough that she can probably be like, "Yeah." But what about you? You're not. I've been gone for 3 years, and you brought back a girlfriend. No, I did not bring back a girlfriend. I brought back me and Jiraiya brought back a friend. She is and he realizes like she's like me, and he's wondering if they know about that because I believe Sakura did know about that. She did learn about it, and they both because I'm sure Sasuke would be a Jonin because he'd strive for that. He realizes. And she realized, which one? Seventail. She was in trouble and we helped her. And so, there's that. But last but not least, seeing as we're talking of pairings, and we're already 33 minutes in. So one of the things Sasuke and Naruto does is see if he can sense a certain someone in the village. Now, if I remember correctly, I don't know if the teammate was in the village right now. I actually don't know that. Let's just, let's hold off on that for right now, because if I don't know if you're in the village or not, I can't say whether or not he'd go find Hinata, because now they're now 16. So even though, yes, it's a little bit icky, it's a lot less icky, especially by Japan standards. So even though technically he's mentally 33, at this point now, it's a lot less icky, and he misses his wife. So he probably at this point would want to go and try to ask Hinata out. But that's going to have to wait, because they're not going to try to test them. At this point now, they get back, and Fu leaves, and Naruto talks and is like, "Okay, guys, there's now something I actually have to tell you." because they're now past the time skip. They're all Jonin, Chunin, Kakashi knows, Jiraiya knows, Tsunade now needs to know, and he thinks it's now time his teammates know. Because they're together now. He won't mention everything, but he'll mention enough. So how is everyone going to react to that? Well, we'll wait and see on Sunday. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks next time. Have a good one.